What's up, YouTube?
What's going on, guys?
We have a very special guest.
Very special guest.
Hailing from the 805 this morning.
And I want to say we're going to give her the award for most distance travel to come on the show.
Yeah.
Honestly, hands down, you take
Mi
it.
respeto.
You know what I mean?
For sure, 100%. So you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Mariela, known as Little Mary on Instagram, and I'm a pinstriper.
Okay. Let's start off there. We'll start off how long you
let's
been
start off.
pinstriping?
What's pinstriping? Because my roommate was like, "Oh, do you have?" I was like, "Oh, we have some chick, coming down and she does pinstriping." And he was like, "What's pinstriping?"
What's that?
Yeah, he literally just said that.
Basically, they're lines that make up just a really cool design. It's something that's been done forever now, but now mostly on classic cars, motorcycles. But you could just pinstripe anything. I do freestyle, so it just comes out of my head. And nothing's ever like duplicated, replicated. It's all just, it flows. And it's something that I've learned like maybe 6 years ago.
Okay.
So I still feel like I'm fresh, like learning all of it. But it's opened cool doors.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm out here most of the time. So I meet people and meet other artists because this is where it's at.
The car scene, I guess, yeah. It's always been out here. I feel like it's in the last couple years it's been
Just blown up.
blown
a lot
up.
Yeah,
More. Crazy.
that's true.
Because we've been talking about that. It's like, is it blowing up, or is it because like we started getting more involved in it, and then we're starting to notice it more?
Yeah,
But I
think
still
so.
see like it kind of like expanding. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
still getting even bigger.
Well, social
Yeah.
media. I think,
And
has
social
a-
media,
social
right?
media has a big
TikTok,
play
all that
there.
stuff.
That's exactly
and
it.
being locked in our houses and stuff. So maybe people got some
Right.
disposable money and was able to get a nice little car thanks to the government and
Yeah,
shit.
that's true.
But okay, so where'd you get your who taught you?
Myself.
Wow, you're self-taught.
Self-taught.
Okay.
I have no artistic background. I can't draw you shit but a line. Like lines, that's all I do. And people like assume that I like sketch things and make little, monitos but all I do is pinstripe. It took me about 3 good years to kind of perfect my own style.
Nail it down.
And then 2019 is when I came out and started striping anything.
Okay.
And I was just like doing free work, cheap work. Eventually, then that's when I started coming down here and just started kind of coming out more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where'd you start? What got you into, like, I know, let's retract from the pinstriping of like, all right, taking the plunge into it, but what?
What started it
Yeah.
all?
Yeah, what kind of drive you
Were
to go
you-
into that direction? I guess.
I know
in
you're
a
saying
sense.
you're originally from Jalisco, but like when you got here to the States and stuff, what was the just the
started
car
it?
scene? You got in the car scene or what?
No, so I mean, my parents are just some like traditional Mexican folks. Like, all my family the same. We're just from Mexico, and what started it was like in my teens.
Okay.
Also, I have a lot of family in LA, Oxnard, Ventura, everywhere. So coming down the freeways, you see cars, and we didn't have phones, so we had to just look out the window. And I started seeing cars, but I didn't notice the striping until my teens. Went to my first car show at Paso Robles, the last West Coast Customs, and Ventura Primer Nationals. And when I saw striping, I swear I was like, yo, how the fuck? Like, and then I started noticing the signatures. I was like, oh, so it's actual people painting this. Santa Maria has a panel jam where they're surrounded, tables going around, and there's stripers all around. And I just loved watching. And I was like, I have to try that one day. And I didn't try it until my early 20s. That was when I started.
Okay.
So it wasn't late. It was really late when I started.
But in your teens, you could say you just felt attracted to
The cars. It was the cars and just the fact that each car was different, unique, had its own taste. Um, yeah, like there wasn't any car that was like the same. You know, there was like rat rods, hot rods with like pieces of other cars, and you're like, what the hell is that? It's like it was mind blowing to me, and yeah, I just started going to more and more car shows. That was it, and that's what started it. But like I said, I started in my late 20s. But I love it. I freaking love it.
That's what it's about.
I
Yeah.
feel like that's what a lot of people don't see. Like there's so many, just to say it, I guess you would call it subgenres in the
Right.
scene. Like there's something for everybody. Like you don't have to be into like the low and slow like bombs and stuff. Like that's more my flavor and stuff. But like you could be into the resto mods where they pull
Yeah.
them out and the LS swapped and you have that air conditioning and
Yeah.
and everything, and go into the rat rods, patina and stuff like that.
Right.
It's crazy how you start off in the scene too, and you learn to appreciate the
Exactly.
different types of cars and stuff. Like I started looking at patina now. I'm like, damn, that shit kind of just grew on me over
Really?
just going to shows and stuff. It's crazy.
See, and that's where my first love was the whole rockabilly scene. That's what I was into.
Okay.
So it was like hot rods, rat rods, customs, and there is a lowrider scene like Santa Barbara, and they do a show at the Earl War Showgrounds. But I wasn't allowed to go to car shows at one point. Just because,
Really?
like, my parents are very traditional, like,
Okay.
strict as fuck.
Yeah.
So they didn't let me go to a lot of things. It was horrible. So, the bombs. That's when I noticed bombs. And I
Okay.
was like, damn, these are nice. And they're more into, like, the scrolling, the more with the loops and the circles. You got, like, traditional striping that's, like, on hot rods. But now you see striping on, like, newer cars. See striping on fucking motorcycles, anything now. And like you said, it's like, it's all these categories of cars or styles, but it's all for the love of cars. Like,
Yeah.
in general.
It circles back around to that.
Yeah.
There's like, I was tripping out because pinstriping's like, because one of my boys, Ray, he's a pinstriper too, and it's crazy how, you know, you have to learn like the pressures on your brush to get the right kind of swirls and stuff. And I just thought it was like, all right, well, why don't you just, you know, tape a line off and then, kind of say, like, nah, you don't do it like that.
No,
Because
yeah.
people could tell when, like, I got my pinstripes on my truck done
Right.
by Malix. Shout out Malix, pinstriper. People can tell when they look at, like, kind of like the slight imperfections of a straight line.
Yeah.
They respect that more than
Yeah.
a line that was just kind of like taped off and like you got,
Yes.
you know what I mean?
That's true.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And people look at that shit. They're
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, that somebody did this freehand. I'm like, yeah, they just, he's like, yeah, I could tell. And they're really straight. And like, yeah, because you could kind of see the waves, but I feel like that just gives it its character.
It does. And that was where, like, I was the opposite, where I'm just very, like, a perfectionist. And yeah, when I was messing up, it would piss me off so bad. And I'd be throwing my brushes across the room, staying up to like 3, 4 in the morning, just trying to, perfect it. But I was looking at other local stripers, and I was like, yo, I'm just tripping. You don't have to be perfect. It's all just, when you look back and you step back, it looks fine.
Yeah.
It's perfect. So yeah, you're right. People will look more at the original kind of the one that the human painted with their own hand than just a taped line or brushed. I mean, not brushed. Like sprayed paint.
What a stencil,
With
yeah.
the stencil.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's like even with anything that like artists or ourselves that we work on something, we're very
Yeah.
critical of our work.
That's
You know,
true.
and we're the ones that notice the imperfections
Yeah.
first. And you'll have the people like, you know what, that doesn't look bad. Like it looks pretty sick.
looks
But then we'll be
good.
like, but what about this and then this and that? We nitpick ourselves.
Right.
So it's always like that.
That's true. Yeah.
But that's how you fine tune your craft. I feel
course,
like you have to
yeah,
you have to have some sort of
And
quality
then
control in
anything
your own
freehand,
mind.
man. Like you'll have those outliers that are, like they do freehand and then it just comes out perfect. But I can say maybe 95% of everyone that does anything freehand, you're gonna have some slight imperfections. But
That's
that's
true.
that's human nature. It's
I
what
had
it
to
is.
learn all that. And like Ray, I think I know who you're talking about.
You know Ray?
Yeah. I've met him at San Pedro too. He's doing like more candies and
Yes.
airbrushing and
Yeah.
all that.
He's for somebody who does it out of the pad and shit, he's doing a scooter for me
Yeah,
actually too, and it's I seen his wagon he did, and I
Right.
was like, fuck, dude, you did that. Why? He's like, yeah. I'm like, god damn, dude. Like, for somebody who just learned how to candy, I'm like, this
know what
shit,
you're doing.
This shit came out clean, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But and is that something you could touch on? So Ray, I just kind of figured, because knowing Ray and Malik's, they do both. You know, paint and candy. Pinstriping, you just strictly pinstripe, right? You don't do the whole candy paint lace and stuff like that?
Well, that's what I'm trying to dip my feet into, you know?
Okay.
Like, I'm trying to just gather things while I'm working, you know, that little extra cash, just buying tools. But that's the goal, actually, to do candies and fuck with, you know, little wagons, or how do you say, just helmets, anything small. And then eventually, who knows, maybe I'll get some kind of, you know, motorcycle or something.
Yeah,
car.
for sure.
So I'm really interested in that, the whole candy paints and all of that.
It's I mean, and I didn't know the process, because even when shout out to Ray, but when he quoted me on just supplies, I was like, god damn, when we were talking about the scooter, right? And I was like, yeah, man, like, I'm down, let's do candy on the scooter. And he's like, you know how much that shit costs? I'm like, dude, let's do it. And then he's like, bro, all right. He's like, I'll send you a quote just so you can see, right? And I was like, all right, let's not do candy on the scooter, bro.
You know what? I was like, thank you.
Solid color, you know.
Thank you for giving me the heads up.
Even him, like just the homie love on the scooter and stuff, I was like, well, obviously I want to pay you for your work, you know what I mean? But like, even it's crazy how much supplies are. I mean, it's just like everything went up in the past 2 years. It's just
the striping, just certain colors are just more expensive than others. And then you got to do the brush. Oh, yeah, dude, it's...
How much is a horsehair brush right now?
$15
And you have to take care of them, or else you're...
Well, yeah, you
fuck them up, right?
Exactly. And like, people who live like here can go to like Coast Airbrush. You guys are nearby, but I gotta just online shop. I don't have any local shops that sell a freaking brush, at least a blue wrapped brush, or something simple. I cannot get anywhere, so I gotta pay for shipping, which is like a lot.
Yeah, obviously.
So yeah, there goes that. But I gotta take care of my brushes. Gotta take care of you gotta oil them, and they'll last you if you take care of them. But yeah,
wear and tear though.
Yeah.
What would be one of the current projects that you've been working on? What would be like one that stood out to where you were like, all right, I'm a pinstriper now?
The one that did it was, and I always keep saying this, but it's this little roadster. It's a green roadster. It's out in Paso Robles, and it's called the Gremlin. And it's this very nice green, like a soft green. And I did lettering on the back. It says the Gremlin, the tail lights, the back, the trunk, and then the front. And then I did like spider webs. But when I finished that and I stepped back, I was like, yo, this. I was like, oh shit, where did that come from?
Shit. Yeah, we made it.
Who did this? Like, it was like 100 degrees that day. I was in the garage striping, but I was fucking dying. But I was just like, no, I have to do this. And I pushed myself, and it was worth it. It was fucking worth it. After we finished, I followed the guy to Nipomo, to a little cruise. And I watched that car just ride. That's all I did was like just admire my own work. It was really cool, and I saw other cars that I striped there, so it was nice to see more of my work out there.
Yeah, and I think that's probably like one of those satisfaction feelings of seeing all the, you know, stuff that you worked on, and then you see them out in public, and then you can see other people appreciating it too, you know, and that gives you self-assurance of like, yeah, I can continue this, keep going and grow and get better.
So that one was it. It pumped me up really, really good.
Going back to that, like, what were you tripping out when you had your first like pinstripe on car? Was that like one of those things where you're like, oh shit, like now somebody's trusting me? Like, you graduated from like doing, like you said, like, helmets, whatever you could knock out. But when you got your first car, was it kind of like, oh shit?
It's one of those things where like, how do I make up an excuse to back out? Like, I don't want to do this anymore, because it's like their baby, it's their car. It obviously costs them a lot of money, and I mean, it's something you can wipe off, but say you're on your second color and you're in, and you screw up, you can't wipe it off. That just took you like an hour and a half or two to do. So you have to like find a way to either fix your mistake or work with it. But yeah, the first couple jobs are the worst because you're gonna fuck up. And surfaces, you gotta deal with surfaces. You got rusty, like say patina cars. You gotta have a different consistency than like a smooth car. It flows different. So you gotta know what you're doing. And obviously, as a beginner at the time, it was very difficult. But you're learning. You're learning. It's an experience, so it's okay.
I'm sure it's a trip to go from being able to like move like a helmet around or move like a ammo can or whatever, like what I've seen like people practice on. I'm sure it's easier to move that around when you get to a car and you're like this.
Dude, you have your whole body on it.
Versus like this to this. That must be like the real jump, and it's like, okay.
Dude, I'm on the ground sometimes. I'm like on top of the car a little bit. And like you have to find your way around it. It's not easy.
Oh yeah, I bet. It's like, you know, when we're working on stuff and I gotta twist my body to unscrew a bolt and I start getting cramps and shit. I'm like,
well, see, you're able to use your size to your advantage. Like, see, this little guy, he's able to climb up in the ceilings. Like me, now I'm a bigger boy, man. It's not like I used to be able to climb up in ceilings and shit. But
you're right. But it's one of those things where you appreciate the work you do in the garage more than like the cars, because you gotta move around. Yeah.
Putting your body on the line for the for the work, man.
For the art.
And then you gotta, like, if you're at a show, then you gotta deal with the weather. Fuck, there's times where it's windy or it's too hot and the paint won't cooperate.
And then you got people looking at you.
Oh, shit. Dude, that's the worst.
I always tell people that too. Like, I don't mind it, but I sometimes don't like it when people are just standing there watching me work.
And I don't notice it until like you take a little breather.
Yeah.
And you're like, you're like, can you guys leave? But no, the first time that happened to me, it was Long Beach at the swap, the swap meet. And I was like, all right, I'm going to pull out a couple things. I'm going to stripe. And I couldn't. My stomach turned, dude. I was going to throw up. It was horrible.
Yeah, and I've been to Long Beach, so let's just say that, like, you know, somebody's probably gonna go watch you pinstripe over something else they walk around on. Let's just say the clientele over there is gonna be like, okay, oh, there's a girl and she's painting.
Yeah, let's go see. Let me see what this is all about.
That happened. I ended up striping 2 tequila bottles, and it took me like fucking hours. It had to be like maybe a 30, 45-minute job, but I was new. I was like, you know, but I'll take it. And he's like, are you done with it? I'm like, no. And the weather was just too fucking hot. No, it wasn't. I'm like, look, I did it. He goes, that's good. And I'm like, fuck, dude, like, thanks. But I was dying, dude. I was like nervous. I was like, oh God, he's gonna hate it. But he loved it. Yeah, it's one of those things you gotta like really think about. Yeah.
Fucking, damn, I don't know. I don't know if I would like. I mean, but you have to. You're making this your business. You have to put yourself out there and, you know, show people why you're doing it.
Attract people and, you know, have the, I guess but I mean, I would go say, like, I ride motorcycles and I know people in the business, like mechanics or whatever, or guys that do paint. Right. Some of them are assholes. They are. But they're already established that you're willing to deal with that guy. Then you're like, well, fuck it. I got to go to so-and-so Joe's and drop my shit off. But I got to listen to him fucking bitch and moan about, oh, what's this and what's that? Like the one guy, Michael. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I dropped off my sports through the small white one. And I was like maybe the 3rd time I've interacted with them. So I'm dropping off the bike. I'm showing them, hey, I need this done, this done, this done. And I'm like... And it's funny because, like, it was, like, maybe 2 years ago. And I used to color my hair. I had, like, pink hair or something like that, right? So I'm over here talking to these fucking guys and shit. And I'm like, all right, Mike, thanks. And then he looks at me and he's like, Michael. And I'm like, oh, yeah, word, my bad.
Get it right.
And he makes sense. You don't want this pink-haired fucking boy calling you Mike and shit.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man.
I mean, I didn't
fix his motorcycles for it.
What do you expect, right?
Yeah, dude, it's been crazy. But like I said, I love it. It's interesting, and you get to meet people. Like, I don't really,
I think that's the best part of it. You start meeting people, networking, and then this person knows this person, and so, and then just get the whole network.
Hands down. I love social media because it gets you more out there, like out in the world.
Of course, yeah.
But nothing beats that handshake and like, hey, nice to meet you. I'm such and such.
So, yeah.
It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Let's see. How do I word this question?
Yeah, think before you speak. Bro.
I am.
Sometimes you talk out your ass.
I do. A lot of the time. But what would be one of the clubs that gave you your start and kind of fully backed you out there? If there's any club you want to shout out.
Back home, I can say like Critics Car Club. They're scattered around like Santa Maria, Orchid, Paso Robles. They're really cool people. And I started doing a lot of ornaments around Christmas.
Okay.
And Steve has a little 48 bomb, and it's orange. And he's like, oh, dude, I need you to do these for me. And to this day, I mean, it was years ago, but he has that little ornament on his, hanging on his little mirror. And he's like, I still got it. So it's cool, like, and it's home. There are people that are close to home. Mm-hmm. Now in like LA, like Lost Souls and all of them, they're really cool people. Like, every time I come down or I see them, that's like the first people I shake hands with and say, hey, what's up? And I think that's it. Like I said, I meet people
out there. We're gonna spam this everywhere. Make sure
make sure
we fill the books for next year.
Shoot.
And she's like, I've got too much work.
Leave me alone. No,
I was gonna bring the truck too. Because I want to get my my tailgate done. So I was like, I don't know if it's
you should have told me.
Professional to be like, hey, so what's up with the back of the alternative motives, or how would you say that? Alternate motives, whatever.
I don't know, something like that.
I'm not the best at English.
You're not the best at words. Notice that.
What about you? Any cars? Any cars that are you working on anything? Do you have anything? Do you want to maybe look for something?
I do have one.
Okay.
It's a 65 Falcon.
Oh, okay.
And it's just sitting in my fucking driveway.
I will preach to this because a lot of the people that you talk to in the scene have a car. They may be pinstripers, painters, motor guys, whatever they are. Mm-hmm. Their car's always parked with no Is there pinstriping on it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. At least
you got that. Yeah.
Because I know some guys who do engine work and the engine's not even the car.
No shit.
So you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
I know what you mean.
I know you get busy and you start trying to.
Exactly. Yeah. I drive it, often. I just moved, so it's like it's just kind of sitting there. But like I want to start painting, like I said, shooting paint, and that would probably be like my first project. So, and the body's straight, it's cool. I'm just gonna fuck with it. I got some stripes on the back, and it's random ass stripes because I got blue in the back, and then I put like copper. I don't know why. That's what I was feeling at the time, and now I hate it. So I gotta do it over. But I have a 65 Falcon, and then we have a 64 or 65 Falcon Club Wagon. It's a van, so it's like an Econoline.
Oh, sick.
But it's Falcon.
Dope.
And it's beat up. It's ugly, but it's cool. It's ugly, but it's cool. It's ugly, but it's cool. It's like a little Scooby-Doo van. And those are the only things we got at home.
Okay.
Maybe in the future I want to get something. I don't know what though.
Yeah. Well, okay. So let's throw that question out there. If we were talking about this with Guns the other day, if money wasn't an option,
okay,
what would be the car?
The dream car.
What would be Little Mary's car? Yeah, the dream car. Yeah,
dang. I love little 62 Comets.
Okay.
I know. See, I can't do big cars because I'd be looking like a grandma over that fucking steering wheel. But if I had a big car, those late or mid to late 40s bombs, I'll take one.
Yeah.
I'll fucking take one.
Yeah. You can't mess with any of those body styles. It's just the way the trunks are.
Yeah.
I'm like see, I feel like he's more of a straight kind of boxier kind of guy because he comes in like at the like. I feel like you're more 65 and above.
I think so, yeah. And then I love wagons.
Yeah,
I don't know.
oh, yeah.
Wagons are sick. I just love wagons for some weird reason.
I like those too. See, damn, and it's like when you like everything, you can't just stick to one thing.
Because my man right here, Trooper, went to Moon Eyes with me. In a big group. And we left at like 12 midnight. Cars started breaking down in the parking lot before we even left.
Oh, no shit.
Before we even left to the show, cars were breaking down.
Not the car we were going in,
Yeah,
someone else.
The car was straight, but other cars had to move people around.
Yeah.
But we left to Moon Eyes and he got to see like I feel like Moon Eyes is really cool because you see a wide variety. You see the bombs, you see the the drag
Customs
cars and all that kind of
yeah.
stuff and the customs. But he seen a GMC Suburban that was like a 70s. And he was like, "Oh, that's where it's at right there." See, like
Yeah.
I'm more of I like the bubblier,
curves,
and,
yeah.
from 50. Like I would even say 54 and below.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
I
cool
love
with
those
whatever.
too.
I just like the way the bodies are. Like even like new trucks to this day are shit. Like I have a Tacoma and I got the Sport because at least it had some better lines than
See,
if
I
were
look
to-
at that too. I thought I was the only one. Like on newer cars, I look at lines, everything, and I'm like, that's ugly. But like, and it's like, I don't know if it's
like no
me.
disrespect to the Chemicas out there, but like the 90s, like the 90 GMCs and what they're into right now, like bro, shit.
It's crazy.
And then when you threw the sidestep on there, shit.
And it just
shit, like dude, should have just let that go. Like I felt like, have you seen one of those, like the newer, like the 90s with the sidestep? Like no,
it
that
doesn't
ain't
go.
it, buddy. That ain't
I
it.
mean, I'm kind of a fan of the '90s
To each
fucking
their own.
trucks
To each their own,
and
you
shit.
know.
The little boxy looking ones. I kind of like them.
Yeah, I don't
but
know,
but like me, like my dream car, if I had money was not an option, I would get a Porsche GT2 RS. Like
okay.
newer cars. I like newer cars because I have an Evo as well, so I like technology. You know what I mean?
And then I love those like older 80s little BMWs.
Oh yeah, those are
dude.
so sick.
See, and I could go like way new.
Those are
No, yeah,
And
yeah,
then there's,
yeah.
like-
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I would go with like if a newer, older kind of deal. I like the 70s, the Corollas, the little Corollas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like just slammed. I would roll with something like that, but it's like, nah, I don't know. I feel like I like the weirder kind of like. That's why I went with like my truck, 5-window.
Right.
The engineering behind that, like I thought that was badass. How they decided, let's cut two windows in the sides where we had the small window because blind spots. Like that's just who thinks of that shit. You know what I mean? Like and then it
Yeah.
gives it that like, just the more windows. Like I was the type of dude who wanted like I really want to get a a VW, like a 60 split with a rag, like stuff like that, like the 21 window, 23 window buses, stuff like that was like would catch my eye, but it's like. Can't
There's so
afford
much more, dude. And then nowadays, just cars are way fucking expensive.
Yeah.
People want a fuck ton, dude. You can't buy anything cheap, but everything's being like everything's rare and unique.
That's
So people are like, oh, give me like $50K for this fucking 54.
Well, even like at a time, fucking used cars were more expensive than new cars.
Dude, you don't remember seeing cars for like 500,
yeah,
$1,000 bucks?
Yeah. I when I was in school, I was in HVAC school. There was a guy that was there. He just had gotten out of prison. Typical fucking trade school.
Right.
Guy in his mid-40s trying to fucking change his life, right? But I remember one day we were just talking and talking about cars or whatever, and he's like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "That's why I always walk around with $1,500." I was like, "Why?" He's like, "Cause you never know. You might go down the street, you see a car, you give them $1,500 cash, they'll let it go. They'll let it go." Cause he showed up with like a fucking '72 Camino, dog, just out of nowhere. I was like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "Yeah, I got it for $2,000." I'm like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, it's like you never know. Yeah, it's crazy.
Them days are gone.
Yeah, those
you know what
days
I
are
mean?
gone. Yeah.
Yep, no more.
No, not even running. Like my truck now, not even running. Fucking 14,000.
Exactly.
It's all there. Oh, it's all there. Yeah, bullshit. Like the motor's in the fucking back, bro. Like when the last time
But
this
it's
shit
there,
turned,
it's
bro?
there.
Hey, but it's all there.
You gotta look at
gotta
the
mount
fucking
it.
description, dog. It's all there.
And people will
Messed
buy
up.
them.
Yeah, that's true. It's
But
getting
that's the
out of
thing,
hand.
yeah. As long as people are continuing to buy, not shit stuff, but I guess we can say, yeah, shit stuff for shitty prices. Prices are never gonna drop.
That's true.
Yeah.
So that's just how the market works.
Starts with you. Boycott the fucking.
Yeah, stop
trolls
buying
out there.
cars, please,
Yeah.
so I can buy one.
Or they're all going like they're imported to like Japan.
Yeah,
And,
I mean it's a big market, you
and
know.
they're paying pretty little pennies.
Oh
for those
yeah,
as
I
well.
remember Dad had that old 70s motorcycle. My dad got it for how much you get it for? $90, something like that. He was like, they were out drinking, and then our neighbor was there, and then he's like, our neighbor's really into Harleys, and he had this old 71 Honda, and my dad's like, hey man, sell me the bike, and then he was like, it's yours. $90. And then, like, my dad told me the story, and I'm like, oh, this fool's bullshitting.
Yeah.
You know, you guys are drinking. He's just talking out of his ass. So, like, I think a week later, the dude told his mom, it's like, hey, tell Chema that I remember I told him I was selling this bike. So she called him. And my dad's like, what the fuck? Like, this fool's serious? He's like, yeah. And then he went over, and he's like, yeah, give me $90. Here's the papers. And then my dad was like, this shit has brand new tires. He probably paid $300 just on the tires.
Right.
But long story short, he was riding it around because he had to get it fixed. And those old Japan bikes are hard to get parts for.
Right.
You would have to get them from Japan. And he was riding around this and that. And some guy my dad works at a school district. They were doing like some AYSO shit. Some old Japanese guy is like, hey man, you selling that bike? My dad's like, well, I mean, not really, but you know, you make me an offer. He's like, oh dude, he's like, I move those all the time in Japan. They want that old school style fucking look. Dad sold it for like $3,000.
Shit, dude, that's
like,
good
fuck,
though.
dude.
Yeah, that's tight. You don't know what you have sometimes until someone like spots it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like,
You never know. Anything,
Yeah.
you know? Who would have thought fucking our old Pokemon cards that we were collecting back in the day, you know, are worth
They're
hundreds of
fucking
dollars.
worth
you know?
$500 for
Yeah.
one card. I was watching that the other day.
He's got me buying them at the goddamn gas station now, like,
Man,
in
you
hopes
never
that I
know.
would hit.
You never
Dude,
know, you
even-
It's
might
like playing
hit.
the lotto now. Like,
Yeah,
oh, fuck it,
the
I'll buy a
little
pack of-
homies too.
Yeah, the
like,
homies too. Yeah, and it's crazy. Like, you know, the whole nostalgic factor.
Right.
You know, it's coming back, especially
It's
us
true.
getting older. You know
Yeah.
how we
That's
are.
what
we
it
wanna-
is. We're getting older because straight the fuck up, I was like, dude, I used to buy those, and then now it's like, fuck,
Wait, that's when you realize,
that's
huh?
nostalgic.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
I was like, oh fuck, we're
All
old
the
now.
stickers that were coming out of the like bubblegum machines.
Yeah,
and
yeah, came in the little cardboard
Holograph. Yeah, dude, they're all like going up in prices
collectibles
now.
and shit.
Collectibles.
But yeah, that's what it is. Like, we're growing up and we see that and we're like, oh shit, that was cool, you know. So now we have us buying them back for fucking double, triple,
Yeah.
4 times the price.
Should have kept on.
Yeah,
too.
we should have kept them, but who would have thought? you
Yeah,
know?
that's true.
I was throwing my Pokemon cards in my back pocket. You know what I mean? Fucking them up and shit. I had
Now
some
he goes
Charizard.
ape shit when I try to touch him. Like,
Yeah,
you're
now I
gonna
have some
grease it.
Charizard.
You're gonna grease it. Jesus, bro.
I gotta send it
I
to
just want to
PSA.
look at it.
Don't touch it. You got chocolate on your hands. 9 times out of 10, James has some chocolate on his hands. Just, you know, he's a little,
problem, man.
he's a
Oh,
little
you like
snacker.
chocolate?
I like chocolate. I do.
That's okay.
It is what it is. You know.
You look like a fool that likes
You want to
chocolate
fucking
on
put
his
it
hand.
out there? Put it out there, bro.
Yeah,
it is
that's
what it
cool.
is. Circle
The
K.
people
Shout
know.
out to their deals. 2 for $4.44. It's fucking terrible. Huh?
That's a bad business model, dude. What the fuck?
Have you been to like a gas station and they get you because it's like $1 more for like another candy bar? Have you seen those deals? Like when you're just in
No.
there-
Is that just you?
It's like a get me. That's how
Wait,
they get
you're
me.
comparing prices?
No, like even though I don't need it, like it's like one Red Bull is like $2.99.
Oh,
but then you
okay.
can get like 4 for $7.
Damn.
So you're gonna do the 4.
Yeah.
Oh,
you have-
true.
So then
have
you know
to.
what happens when we leave Circle K? Because this is during like our break, right?
Right.
So it's like fucking $22.
Dang.
Yeah. Stupid.
Damn.
Stupid.
That's crazy.
Hey, man. We gotta nourish and feed the body. You know
Which-
what I mean?
yeah,
I need to
that's-
stop feeding the body. I
I
need to get back on the grind.
This body's a little machine, you know, and I need my
My
nutrients.
shit, mine's built on gancitos and fucking pinguinos over here.
Can't go wrong with
But-
pinguinos. Yeah,
You know.
they come in clutch every now and
Yeah.
then.
Fucking nay. So what do you have to tell the people? What do you got working on? What are you working on? What new projects?
I love coffins. So
Like, wait,
Alright.
like full coffin, like full size coffins?
Like
no,
empty
I
coffins?
wish that'd be cool.
Or-
No, just like little like panels.
Oh, okay.
I just find
What do you find?
I just find them like at
Small coffins?
I make them either out of resin or
Oh, you make the coffins.
yeah.
Okay,
They're-
that's what we need to talk about because this is gonna be put on a reel for spooky season. So
Oh yeah, well it's
spooky
October.
season.
Okay, well I've been doing coffins now for a while. They're trays.
Okay.
If you smoke weed or just trays in general.
Okay.
There's small, medium, and like big ones like this big. And I've been making them out of resin and then striping them and then just kind of encapsulating the striping with more resin. Mm-hmm. And it's just cool. The striping's never gonna rub off. And
yeah, my fat ass went to charcuterie boards. That's what I was thinking of when you said.
There you go. No, well, that's exactly. Well, you could use it for that
I could
too.
have said something cool like, yeah, smoking cigars.
I should have brought one.
My fat ass was thinking about charcuterie boards.
Well, you can use it, but I made those during COVID.
Okay.
And everybody fucking loved those things. I was making a bunch at a time. And then just whenever I can find anything coffin related, I'll just grab it and paint it and sell it. So I found some about like yay big. They're pretty big. And I'm gonna do the same thing. Just I'll post soon.
Yeah.
That's what I'm working on.
We'll put your Instagram up and we'll tag some pictures of what you're talking about. We'll throw them somewhere.
Yeah. So I'll just stripe them and then brush a little thin layer of resin and they're good to go. And I mean, it's spooky season, so everyone's gonna take them.
Well, I've seen people do it on like saws and shit, but that's where you can start with your candy, girl.
Well, yeah.
Start candying them and then just clear them and then pinstripe them and then
that's exactly
there you go. Upsell.
Upsell, yeah. And people eat that up, you know.
And then I think I don't really have anything right now to work on because, like I said, I just moved and everything's being like organized and just those little resin things. And then I make like 45 adapters for records.
Okay.
That was random, something random I did. And that's it. Anything else is just like cars or that I'm doing out in town.
I want to do some stuff on the dash of my truck, so maybe let you go run wild on that. And then I want to do the outline of my Chevy, so
I'm down.
We'll plug in after and
for sure
get you going on that.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, anything else you want to say? Anything you got to tell the people? Any questions?
Yeah, whatever.
Do you have any questions? Behind
Vanessa?
the camera? No.
Every time we always ask her,
I give you the
she never has shit. But here's the thing: she's number one. When we're done, she's like, "Oh yeah, you should ask this. Oh yeah, you should have brought
this
up."
It's always like that though.
Come on,
that's why I plug you in sometimes, right?
Man. You falling behind. Okay, we need you to guide us.
I have a question. See, look, what would you tell any girl who's interested in getting into this field?
Well, that's what I was gonna talk about.
There you go.
In general, like. If in anything, and it doesn't have to be striping, it could be, but I'd say just do it now because a year is gonna turn into 2, 3, 4, and then you're gonna be like, oh, I should have done that. I tell myself that now because, like I said, I was interested in this whole car scene at a young age, but you're young, you're stupid, and you're just distracted with other things and. It's not until you really dedicate yourself to whatever you like that, I think everybody also just wants things like done quick. ASAP. You're not going to learn this shit within like a year. You're going to have your basics down within like 2 years, 3. Not even that. You're still learning. I'm still learning now. 4 or 5 years in. So I'd say either just start now and consistently do your work, your techniques, your practicing.
Push yourself. And
push yourself because it's a good feeling at the end. And you're like, fuck, I did that. Or, it took me this long, but I did it. And I was just one to be really stubborn, hard-headed, listen to nobody, fuck everybody.
But that's only natural,
Right.
We all have that phase or whatever, thinking that we know best
right.
or whatever. Yeah.
And that all comes also with, like, consequences because you're like, fuck, now I'm in, like, a hole. Or, like, But if just be good, be nice, and do good in this world because, goddamn, I'm 30 now, and it's like, damn, I should have done this or, like, I should have never done that. But I learned the hard way. Yeah. Everything I learned the hard way.
Yeah, and that's probably the best way to learn.
Right.
Because you go through those experiences and you know what not to do, what not to say, and which
Right.
avenue to go through now, or who to talk to and who not to talk to.
Yeah,
You know?
and two, you don't need to take any classes. I'm not saying don't spend that like 1K class somewhere. Do it, whatever, if you feel like that's going to help you, cool.
Yeah.
But all you really need is like a little can of paint, your brush, your mineral spirits, and a piece of a magazine. And you just start dabbling with it, and eventually you're going to get the hang of it. Either you like it or not. And I should have done this a long time ago, honestly.
And also, like, even like for women in general, like, don't be afraid.
No.
Like, you can think that it's a man run, genre or whatever, but I think nowadays, like, I would say probably 80% of the people are very much inclusive.
Yeah.
And you'll be surprised, like, the big burly fucking bearded man is actually pretty cool and would guide you,
Yeah, I was honestly intimidated coming into this whole pinstriping scene because it's male dominated. And I actually quit striping 2 years because of that whole intimidation and doubting myself. I doubted myself a lot, so I quit. And I just I was like, I need to try this again.
Yeah.
And so, it wasn't until I tried it again that I stuck with it, and I haven't stopped. So I'm glad that I didn't quit and I continued because it's taken me this far. Obviously, like, I'm not here trying to be all famous and anything, but I've never been good at anything or been recognized. I was never good at school. Whoever fucking was, no one was. So it's fun, and it's crazy how, like, sometimes even people recognize you because of your art or, like, who you are.
Yeah.
And it's fun. I like that. Who knows, maybe when I'm like 60, 70 years old, I'll probably still be striping. And if I am, fuck it, that's cool. But I want to leave something behind for the kids too. I hope my kids fucking take pinstriping.
Yeah.
Or airbrushing or candy paints or something.
You never know.
You gotta teach this too.
Or by you doing that, it'll attract them to, I don't know, engine work, or who knows, something similar in that field where they can bounce off of that.
Yeah.
I mean, you find it to be kids are like sponges, and it's crazy how it's something that you would think, like, even just being in the car scene when I was, growing up with my grandfather and, seeing the cars coming in and out, like, you would think like, oh, all right, I got into surfing. I kind of stepped away for a little while, but it's crazy how now you get a little older and you learn that you should have appreciated that way more than, now being into, like, because being into that scene wasn't really cool when I was in high school.
Yeah.
And then I found the group that, like, surfing was like, that was cool. You know what I mean? So I shifted more my dynamics to that. But then, you learn.
Natural,
you learn. Yeah, exactly. You learn, you see where people are going with this. Like, it's like nothing productive's coming out of it. And it's like, it's okay to be different, because I was always different going to where, I didn't hang out with people from my school because I was always an outsider. Like, that shit ain't cool. Like, you surf and you fish. Mm-hmm. Now you got Salty Crew and all this shit. Now it's cool to do that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? But, now it's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm still going to grease my hair. I'm going to wear Dickies. I'm gonna be who, this is what I enjoy. This is the type of style that I like. And if you don't like it, then,
whatever.
Cool, whatever. Fuck off. It's cool. I don't give a shit. Like, hey, you're living in a time machine. I don't give a fuck, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, do you know how they treated your people during that time? Yeah. Do you know how they treat me now?
It could be the same thing,
Exactly.
And like I said, it's human nature because, like, us as, like, kids, like, once we grow up, we grow to appreciate a lot of the things that our parents expose us to.
Yes.
Like, I can remember, as a small child, my dad would play fucking Pedro Infante or Los Tigres del Norte. And I'm like, dude, turn that shit off, dog.
Exactly.
Play some Metallica, homie, Like, shit, dude. But then now you grow up and then you're like, oh, shit, like, that shit it's actually a banger, you know what I mean?
It's
now
true.
I enjoy listening to it and all that stuff.
That's true.
So it's human nature, it's just how it is. Whatever our parents were into, us growing up, we're like, no, we don't want to do that, because that's what the old folks do and shit.
And it's all within, like, finding yourself too. I mean, you got, like, your parents' ways, traditional ways, kind of, and then you're like Because you're in school, you see all kinds of stuff, you know, different crowds and cliques.
Cultures or whatever, yeah.
So you're trying to figure out what you want, but then your mom and your dad's telling you, like, those are bad people.
Yeah,
Or those are,
yeah.
you know, so it kind of, like, not fucks with you, but you don't know what to do, where to go. But really just being yourself is what matters, dude, because following people does not do you no good.
Of course not. Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. But like I say, us as normal humans, we
Yeah.
want that satisfaction of getting I guess the acknowledgement from other people, so we look for that.
Right,
You know,
exactly.
We
yeah.
do.
But life's nuts, dude. I learned that.
Man, it sure is fucking nuts, and I'm here for it, man.
Yeah.
This is a crazy world. We're going in many different directions, but it's okay, because like I said, it's history. You know what I mean? Even if it's good or bad, we learn from it and we grow from it.
Yeah,
you know?
that's true.
And that's how it should be,
Yeah.
right? I think that's a good way to
end it. Yeah.
on, you know, good little positive message.
I mean, we built a new friend.
Yeah.
Anytime you want to come up on this mic, you have something coming up, you let us know,
cool.
and we'll throw it out there and let people know. And
All right.
yeah, if you need any pinstriping, this is your girl right here. We're gonna plug her in, and let's fill her book, man.
yeah, let's do that. And then anything coming up for us, James?
Shit. Cruising with Cresty. We're gonna film an episode on Tuesday. So I'll have more information for the next episode on that. We filmed a great episode with
Dillinger.
Dillinger 818.
Yeah.
Tony. Yeah.
That was good. So that's
that will
in
be
the works right now.
We're gonna put a warning on there. This is more family friendly right
Yeah,
here. But that other
definitely
one,
is. That one we're gonna have to
definitely
put a
not
fucking,
for children.
parental. I'm gonna tell my boy Tony, small Tony Thunder, not to watch it.
Thunder.
you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
that's not children
It's a
approved.
13-year-old child. You know what I mean? We can't have him listening to some of the
I'll
shit
put
we're
like
bringing.
there's
up.
gonna be like a countdown before that episode even starts. Like, hey, if you're not of age, get
A
out.
warning.
Yeah, I still make them not for kids though. You know what I mean? Like the videos and shit when I post them, I put not for kids. Just
Yeah, our language is not really.
it's not kid friendly, but it's okay. You know, just listen to us. Don't be like us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is a learning.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I guess other than that, I don't think we have any events or
Still
shit
trying
that
to
we're
go
going
Bigfoot hunting. But,
Yeah,
you know,
we're still trying to get that in the works, but
Out here?
yeah,
How? Where?
yo,
I'm trying.
out where?
Bigfoot's everywhere, man.
here,
Like
right?
Is that in LA
I've heard,
shit?
yeah, I've heard stories that they've seen them in Compton. Yeah,
That's how I was like, wait, where is
Man,
he
we don't
gonna
need the smoke, all right? We're probably gonna get enough of it as it is. You know, he's wearing a tie-dye bucket hat. You
Right?
know,
It's 2022. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows,
Bigfoot
man?
is
It's okay.
you know, we gotta.
He probably shaved his whole body now.
yeah. He's,
Blending in with the rest of the
Hey,
world.
I know. The other time we were joking, like we don't. You know how they used to say Bigfoot was a female,
Right.
So now we don't know.
Yeah.
You know? They, them,
Non-binary.
pronouns,
they
non-binary. We don't know.
Yeah, we're
but
gonna-
we fiend to find out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We're gonna
So-
see what's up. I mean,
That
we got
and
all
then,
the equipment. So.
Yeah, and then what were we doing? Gold panning as well.
Oh yeah, we're gonna gold pan for gold too.
Where?
In Azusa.
Compton.
Yeah, there's actually my gold panning endeavor is right there in that bucket. Actually, there's actual
no
gold and dirt
shit.
in there. But I kind of like
He got over it after 3 minutes. How do I get the water out?
I started. Losing
I don't
gold.
know.
I started losing gold. Yeah.
Damn,
Embarrassing,
dude.
but you know, hey, it is what it is.
But at least it was just us
I
three.
bought
though.
this shit
That's
on
crazy.
Amazon too.
Uh-huh.
Go figure.
Go
Never
figure.
know. You might find a gold nugget.
Hey,
dude.
like I said, if we find a fucking nugget, we'll be in an actual studio next time. So that's how you'll know.
There'll be signs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'll see it.
There'll be
He's gonna be
signs.
wearing a little nugget right
Yeah.
here.
Fucking
Chain
chop it
right
up in
here.
3 pieces.
Ah, what's up? But yeah, we really appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks
you know,
for
making the
driving
long
out
ass
here.
drive to come and
No
you
problem,
know and chat with
guys.
us. And like we said, you're welcome back anytime.
Anytime
you got
you want.
anything coming up, or we can meet halfway, go to you. So we can do
Yeah,
that.
if that's
too.
easier,
we're
'cause-
mobile.
Yeah, because
I'll probably see you guys at shows most
Yeah,
likely.
that too. Yeah, and we'll
Yeah.
do some. We like to do
Now
little
I know
videos
what you
here
guys
and
look
there.
like.
Yeah,
Real life.
you can't miss me. I guess.
him. He's very noticeable.
Yeah.
It's that fucking tattoo on his face.
You
PMA.
think that's what it is?
PMA.
I don't
Look at that.
We'll see. But yeah, this is episode 31. Episode 31. And we'll catch you guys on the next one, and we'll see what this goes.
Thank you guys.
Later.
Bye.